After looking at the last chapter, I'm sure a lot of us fans of Attack on Titan would be pretty frustrated and confused on how and why the story went this way. Personally, I liked chapter 137 and I liked how Armin and Zeke's characters were dealt with, but there's just one thing I don't want to happen in the next chapter: Eren's death. Seeing Armin all ready to completely nuke the founder after John had managed to get Eren's head and Reiner holding back the spine, I just didn't want to see Eren's end to be there. I feel like it wouldn't be good to end Eren there, so I was able to find some interesting theories that people have on the next chapter, and today I'll be talking about one specific one. I just gotta say this before I get into the theory: I didn't make this theory up and I just found it somewhere on Twitter. I wasn't able to get the name of the person who made it, but the least I can do is not to take credit for this theory. Right before I get into talking about this topic, subscribe if you're new, hit the like button and turn on bell notifications. Now without further ado, let's get into the video. So the way this theory goes is that Eren had basically used the Warhammer Titan ability from the start of the rumbling, and his body is actually on the island of Paradise at the moment. The Eren that we saw at the end of chapter 131 is an empty husk of his body, and the real one is on the island. So when Armin basically is able to nuke the founding titan, everything is cleared out, but Reiner might be able to survive the blast, but the damage he would take would be fatal, so he would be pretty much out of the picture for some time. After the colossal titan blast, Armin would check the aftermath of the damage and search for Eren, realizing that he's nowhere to be found in the area at the moment. The others that are flying on Falco at the moment would also come back to Armin's side after the blast and search with him, only for all of them to realize that Eren is missing. The Alliance could then be able to see a white line coming from the husk of the founding titan, coming from the direction of where the island is. Mikasa could then remember that this line is the Warhammer Titan's ability that she saw from her fight with it. From this, Eren, who is on Paradise at the moment, would be able to break out of the crystal and reawaken once again. Since Eren had seen fragments of the future, why would he unleash the rumbling if he knew the Alliance would stop him? So this could further support this theory to making that Eren knew all of this was gonna happen, so he used the Warhammer Titan just before the start of the rumbling. So after Eren has gotten out of the crystal, he now needs to continue moving forward with the rumbling. This would mean he would need a titan with royal blood to start the founding titan's abilities up again. The only way Eren can do this is by taking advantage of Historia's baby. And the way the baby becomes a Titan shifter is fairly simple. Zeke had just died and he had the Beast Titan. From this, the Beast Titan would go to a random Eldian baby, and the baby that's being born at the moment is Historia's one, and I'm sure Eren knows this. It all comes together for Eren's plan to take place once again after the events of the last chapter. The baby is taken by Eren after he locates it, and then he touches it for the process to work. The rumbling starts up again as the Alliance heads back to Paradise after realizing the white cable is the Warhammer Titan's ability, and Eren turns into the founding titan once more. For the ending to work here and now would kind of be my theory now, so don't expect it to be perfect. But after Eren continues to move with the rumbling, the Alliance flies right towards the creature he had just turned into. They look in disbelief seeing the colossal titans march on from their island, but the Alliance still tries again once more to protect everyone else from the rumbling. The deaths that would eventually come from this would be a lot. Reiner could die from his injuries from what happened before, the same for Peak from using up her titan multiple times. The next deaths could be Connie, Levi, Annie or John, with Gabby still hanging onto Falco's titan in the air. For Mikasa and Armin, I can see Mikasa dying right in front of Eren's Titan, with Eren being able to see her and hear her as well. The reason why I said here is because if you remember the "See you later Eren" line said by Mikasa in chapter 1 from Eren's dream, she could be saying that as she dies. And in chapter 1, Eren woke up crying after witnessing a dream that felt really long, but he just doesn't remember what it was about. He just remembered Mikasa saying that line. Also, shortly after this sequence, Eren had asked Mikasa when did her hair get so long, which could mean he had a dream about the future. For Armin, I could see that he would be the last one to go up against Eren, while Falco and Gabby stay in the sky without having the power to do anything to combat against this big threat. Another thing I want to talk about is something that I saw on Twitter that someone had brought up. It's about the season 2 ending, and in the ending it basically showed the rumbling, but that's not all. It also showed us a picture that looked like an explosion with a bird flying past it. People have said that this is the colossal nuke from chapter 137, with the bird being Falco flying past it. And after the scene we see Titans getting up, which could mean the rumbling being used once again after the blast that I had just theorized. Another thing I saw from this ending is that in the ending we see a cross through Ymir, and I just thought it could mean the end of the curse of Ymir. If this is all true, then Isayama basically has thought out his ending ever since this scene, which is crazy. Isayama can tell the anime studio some things that he wants to be put in scenes, so this would be of course Isayama foreshadowing something, but it's not entirely certain until we see these next 2 chapters come out. Which is another thing that is crazy. Only 2 chapters left of this story, and so many things could happen in these last 2 chapters. I like to give my overall thoughts on the last chapter as well, as I wasn't able to make a full video on it. So the way life was talked about between Armin and Zeke was so good, and I loved the way that it was presented. Also, Zeke coming into realization from Armin's dialogue, from talking about the special little things in life, was something that I really liked. Something I want to say as well is that I had no problem with the past time shifters coming to help everyone. The reason is that they didn't actually get revived, but only their titans did. Zeke had done this through the paths, but not Ymir. Armin had actually said this as well. I think I had already talked about the rest of the other stuff when I was explaining the theory, so that was just me touching on some things that people were hating on in the last chapter. I think that's where I'm gonna end it off. Hopefully you enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to put some more theories of yours in the comments below. Also give me some of your own thoughts about the chapter before, and also on how you think the ending of Attack on Titan would actually go. So like always, subscribe if you're new, hit the like button, and turn on bell notifications. It's been Endless Requiem, peace.